Everybody, welcome to this week's Saturday Spotlight. I have the ever-creative Maxwell Stegner with us, and I'm super excited to talk about not only his first book, which I know a little bit about, but there was a new one recently released, so I can't wait to get into it. Hi, Max. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm super excited to be here. This is my first author interview, so I'm really excited to see how it goes.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm super excited. I love interviews like this because not only do I know a little bit about your books, but we've chatted on and off periodically through social media for the past couple of months, so it's cool to put a face to a name.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's really exciting. It's like we're kind of meeting in person.
Close.
Yeah.
So your first book is called Behind the Curtain, and then your second book is still within the same series, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's going to be a trilogy, so it's book 2 of the trilogy. It's called Unleashed Chaos.
Excellent. And they're both, if we were thinking about genres, they're both kind of sci-fi, and would you say dystopian as well, or how would you characterize them?
Well, I kind of go back and forth. Yeah, definitely sci-fi, dystopian, but I mean, I kind of mix between thriller and post-apocalyptic. So it's kind of a mishmash.
As all good stories are, right? Few good stories can only fit in one box. So it's probably pretty good. So for the people that aren't super familiar with your Behind the Curtain series, sorry, my words got mixed up there, do you want to kind of give just a brief synopsis of what that series is about?
Yeah, so it follows my main character, Terry Farrow, who worked with the CIA in a secret underground bunker, and he was creating an AI-controlled neural brain chip, which he thought was going to kind of save humanity. He worked down there for 25 years, and when he finally lifted his head up and figured out what was happening on top of the surface there, he wanted to put an end to it because everyone was living in kind of this mass surveillance and being controlled by these neural brain chips. So he wanted to try to put a stop to that. So it's about his adventure trying to go through and stop the corrupt government and kind of save humanity, I guess.
I love that. I think that's such a timeless story, and anytime you start to bring, I mean, AI is super popular now, but even there were plenty of AI-type robots, when I was growing up, and in these post-apocalyptic, dystopian kind of sci-fi stories. I think that they're, like I said, I think that they're just kind of timeless. I think a lot of people can relate to them, and there's just a strong interest base for those types of stories.
Yeah, I mean, especially now, I even want to put that the book into a nonfiction section with everything that's going on.
Yeah, AI has really blown up, I feel like, the past 6 months or so. It's just with ChatGPT and then so many other like AI artist type things. I'm not super techie, so I don't know the name of the artist ones, but I feel like it's everywhere. And even now, when you publish something, right, and because I know you just published your second book, you have to mark that like it wasn't AI created.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, obviously there's been a lot of flood of books into Amazon or wherever that they have to actually put that on there. I mean, which I guess is a good thing, so people know. But yeah, it's everywhere. Everything you do is some kind of AI, input into it. So it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, I'm not super techie, but I'm kind of aware of like the tech around me. I know enough to know that I don't know anything, if that makes sense. But yeah, no, I think that the topics of your book are super prevalent, and I totally get the nonfiction joke and all of that. What kind of brought you to this idea? Did you have interest, in reading FBI things or bunker things or AI things before you started writing, or what inspired you?
Well, I kind of I think it was more just life events. You know, growing up, I grew up in the country, and so we were always, you know, just out either building forts or some kind of adventure, camping or fishing. A lot of that, you know, subconsciously or consciously came into my writing along with a lot of the books, you know, I read mostly nonfiction, so a lot of like Stephen Ambrose and then when I was a kid, I read a lot of like My Side of the Mountain. I don't know if you know who that is, by Gene Craig and George, and that and a lot of, you know, of course, Orwellian, you know, 1984. And then when it came time to write a book, I just kind of vomited all over my poor laptop, and there we are.
You say that as if it's not something that's been super wonderful. I know your first book has a ton of great reviews on Amazon, and reviews are so hard to get in general, but you have a great amount on there, and I think you're almost at a complete 5 stars. I think you're at 4.8, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it's been awesome to get the feedback that I have. It kind of propelled me forward. I mean, when I wrote this book, I told myself and, you know, my wife and everyone around me, it's like, if I sell 4 books, I'll be happy. You know, it's just something that I wanted to accomplish, and since it's kind of taken off, I just want to keep writing now, and it's turning into this. I have my second one out already, and I just this morning I got in the top 100 on Amazon, which is awesome. I'm pretty stoked about that.
Hey, congratulations! That's so great.
Yeah. It's really moving along. It makes my day. I mean, I still stick to it. You know, I just want to write. To see those little wins. It helps.
Oh, 100%. And they can really make or break a day sometimes too, you know, and give you that extra push that you need in your heart. Did you know it would always be a trilogy when you wrote book 1, or did that kind of come to you like near the end of book 1's process?
It was right at the end. When I left it on a cliffhanger, I was like, oh, I can't leave like that. People are going to be pissed. So I had to, I knew I had to write another one because I couldn't leave people hanging like that. And I knew I didn't want to write a whole series because I didn't think the story could really hold out for a whole series. But I knew I was going to write a trilogy for sure.
That's awesome. Have you always had an interest in writing, or is that something that, you know, developed shortly before book 1?
I've always been a creative person. I mean, music, and I did a lot of art in college, and I've just been reading like crazy the last, you know, 5 years at least, like a lot of books, and I just figured, I mean, I got to try this. I have so many ideas in my head. I got to get something out, so I just decided to go for it.
I think it's so cool that you mentioned that you do music and art too, because I think, you know, having done a couple of these author interviews at this point, and from personal experience, it seems to be really common among all of us that we love writing. Writing is a passion, but we also just love to create kind of in general, and that like takes on its own avenues.
Yeah, I always have something going on. I mean, I make knives as well. I'm always working with my hands or doing something, so.
I get that. Me too. Not knives, because I would probably hurt myself, but definitely like some type of crafting is always going on. My newest thing right now is I've been making roses out of crepe paper. Very different than knives. But still, right, that like repetitive motion and everything. I find it's really fulfilling, like, and it's just really satisfying to kind of be hands-on, be tactile with different types of crafts.
Oh yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's a great feeling to you know, look back at something that you've created, you know, yourself, and you know, no matter what it is.
100%. I think we're very much on the same page on a lot of those things, which is great. So I know you just released book 1 at the time of recording this, and by just released, I think it's really only a couple days old. But do you have any, you know, events or promotions or things like that coming up in the future?
No, not as right now. So book 2 just came out on the 26th of February, or sorry, January. And so, no, I don't have anything going on right now. I'm about 3/4 of the way done with book 3, and that's going to be kind of exciting. It's a little bit different. I haven't really said this on social media, but it's going to be kind of a side-by-side of book 2, in that it's going to be following a family that's kind of going through all of this chaos that's happening. And I'm really excited about it because I wrote both book 2 and 3 together, and so a lot of the story kind of intertwines. And so some of the characters are in both books, and I'm pretty excited about it. I can't wait to see what people think. But as far as promotions and things like that, no, not as right now.
It's so fun to try a different writing style for book 3. I think that it keeps things a little bit fresh, and unless you see the same world from just like a rotated lens.
Yeah, and this one I could see my writing style is kind of changing throughout the 3 books. I mean, book 3 is going to be more heavy on the thriller side. It's still kind of that dystopian post-apocalyptic, but it's got a lot more thriller elements into it. So I kind of see where my writing's going to kind of progress.
Ooh, that'll be fun. I love a good thriller in really any genre. I feel like thrillers just, I don't know, there's something special about them. They're very intriguing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see out of the 3 books, like which kind of audience, gravitates towards what. So that way when I write my next book to, see what kind of style I'm going to go with.
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see how that develops for you. And if people want to follow you on social media or the internet to learn more, either about books 1 or 2, or to see how the progress of book 3 is going, where's the best place to follow you and find out more information?
Right now I'm on Facebook. This is Maxwell Stegner, and Instagram is Maxwell_Stegner. You're welcome to follow me or, message me on there for sure. I'd love to chat with anybody.
And I can vouch on that. Max and I have known each other through various author things, and he's very supportive and he's very kind, but he's definitely the type of person that you can reach out to. You're very personable.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I try to be, and I'm always looking to help out, especially indie authors. We got to stick together.
100%. We're all in this together, right? And even though we write different genres, like I'm YA mythology and you're, post-apocalyptic sci-fi, I think that just means that it's easier to all succeed together, right? Because if someone's interested in my book, that may or may not be the genre for someone else, but they may know someone who it is, right? So we're all together.
Yeah, we gotta push each other forward and build each other up and everything else. One person's success is another person's, so for sure.
100%. And I have enjoyed the parallels that you and I are on. I know we're both on book 3, and we're both kind of in like the last stages of it. So it's nice to commiserate sometimes with someone when you're a little bit stuck, because being an author is wonderful and fulfilling and exciting, but there are definitely times where it's like, oh man, this has been a rough week. So we can help each other get through it, I think.
Yeah, most definitely. We're in a race together here.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for stopping by and watching. I definitely think you should check out Max and Max's work if you're into sci-fi, dystopian, post-apocalyptic themes, and evidently thrillers are on the horizon, which is always so exciting. I hope you had a great time. I know I certainly did, and I'll see you next week. Bye.